Hey guys, Mr. Gucci here, and I am going to walk through the first 3 homework problems and have a video showing me doing them on this Jamboard right here. Okay, so this is going to be the first 3 homework problems. Let's get to it. Now, the first step to doing a double replacement reaction is you need to identify all the charges of all of the ions present. So let's start with that first. Okay, so we have to identify zinc. What is the charge of a zinc ion? Well, we go to the monoatomic ion sheet and we look for zinc, and here it is. Zinc is always a 2+ charge. So I'll just make a little note here, 2+. All right, cool. All right, next, we've got iodine. Okay, we've got iodine. So let me go take a look at monoatomic ions. Iodine. Iodine. Iodine is always a 1- charge. By the way, that's why the formula is ZnI2, because when you crisscross it, you need 2 iodines for every 1 zinc. Okay? Next, let's take a look at sodium. What's the charge of a sodium ion? A sodium, Na is 1+. Sodium has a 1+ charge. Then we got this guy, this OH. This is a polyatomic ion. It is hydroxide. So let's go look for the OH on this polyatomic ion sheet, the OH. Here it is. It has a 1- charge. So hydroxide has a 1- charge. Okay, good. So now we've identified the charges of all of the ions present in this double replacement reaction. That is the first step. The second step is to select a positive ion from this first substance and bond it with the negative ion from this substance right here to create a new compound. All right, so we are going to combine these ions in a different way to make a new compound. This zinc is 2+. We're going to combine it with this hydroxide, which is 1-. Okay, so I'm going to write it out. Zinc with a 2+ charge bonds with hydroxide with a 1- charge. Okay, I crisscross. Zinc has a 2+ charge, so 2 is the number of hydroxides I'm going to need. Hydroxide has a 1- charge, so 1 is the number of zincs that I'm going to need. The formula is Zn1, or just Zn, OH2. By the way, these parentheses here, these parentheses around the OH are very important, okay? They signify that we have 2 OHs, all right? We don't just have 2 H's. We have an OH, and then we have a whole nother OH. So the formula here is ZnOH2. That is our first new compound. We combined the zinc from one compound with the hydroxide of the other compound to make zinc hydroxide. Okay? Step 3 is we crisscross to make the next compound, where we combine the positive ion from this one to the negative ion from this one. So that +1 sodium combining with that -1 iodide. So sodium 1+, and iodine 1-. I mean, you don't really even need to crisscross here because they have equal and opposite charges. You're just going to get 1 of each. So the formula is NaI, because sodium is 1+, iodine is 1-, so you only need 1 of each to cancel out the charge. So the formula is NaI. All right, that's step 2. Now the last step is always you have to balance this equation. So finally, we are going to balance. All right, we've got 1 zinc, 1 zinc. Great. We've got 2 iodines and only 1 iodine on this side. So I'm going to put a 2 in front, represent 2 iodines. We're going to take this 2, multiply it by the 1. Now we got 2. So we got 2 iodines on both sides. Sodium over here we have 1, but over here we have 2 sodiums. All right, so we got to put a 2 on this side. All right, now we've got 2 sodiums and 2 sodiums. All right, let's double check here. Let's double check. We've got 1 zinc, 1 zinc, 2 iodines, 2 iodines. 2 sodiums, 2 sodiums, 2 hydroxides, and 2 hydroxides. So that's it. That's the balanced chemical reaction. Let me just clean it up here, remove these charges from down underneath, all right? As soon as you write down the charges, you can erase them after you use them to crisscross, okay? So there we go. So that is it. Let me just highlight this. Great. All right, on to the next one. So PbNO3 2 plus LiI. So the first step is always, let's write down the charges of the ions involved here, okay? Now, Pb, let me go to the monoatomic ion sheet. And, oh snap, lead is not here. It should be right here, but lead is one of those ions that could have multiple different charges. So we can't tell just by looking at this what the charge is, but we know it's bonded to a nitrate, an NO3. Nitrate has a -1 charge. Okay, so this nitrate is 1 minus. Oh, that's the bell. But there's 2 nitrates here. We got 2 of them. So if we got a nitrate and another nitrate here, that's 2 of them, then this lead, this single lead, has to be a 2 plus because you need 1 lead to cancel out 2 nitrates. All right, if you had a lead 2 plus and a nitrate and crisscrossed it, you would get that formula. So lead is 2 plus here. Lithium is +1. Iodine is -1. There we go. We did the charges. Next up, we are going to create a new compound. We're going to combine this positive lead from the first reactant, and we are going to bond it with this negative iodine from the second reactant. Note, you can't combine a positive with a positive. There's no way that a positive ion can cancel out the charge of another positive ion. They just keep getting more positive. So the positive always has to go with the negative, okay? Pb2 plus bond iodine, which is 1 minus, and we crisscross. And we get as our formula Pb1, or just Pb, I2. Lead 2 iodide is our first product. All right, next we got to combine and get the second product. And we have lithium, which is 1 plus, and nitrate, which is 1 minus. So lithium is 1 plus, nitrate is 1 minus. Now, you don't really need to crisscross here because it's a +1 and a -1. Their charges are going to cancel each other out. But just so we know here, we're going to have 1 lithium and 1 nitrate. The formula is LiNO3, 1 of each. Keep in mind, NO3 is just a single nitrate. In order to have more than one, you'd have to have something on the outside here of the parentheses, some subscript on the outside, which we don't. All right, so it's just LiNO3. And not necessary, but I like to put it in parentheses to remind us all we're dealing with a polyatomic here. Okay? So there you go. Now the last step is always to balance. I've got 1 lead, 2 nitrates, 1 nitrate over here, so I'm going to put a 2 in front. Okay? Good. Now I've got 1 lithium and 2 lithium, so I got to put a 2 in front here. And double check in, 1 lead, 2 nitrates, 2 nitrates, 2 lithiums, 2 lithiums, 2 iodides, 2 iodides. Great. Okay, that's it. That's the balanced chemical equation. So I'm going to just erase all the superfluous stuff here to clean it up a bit. All right, and then I would just be like, hey, yo, I done it. Okay, great. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. All right, HCl and NaOH. Now, this isn't going to be so bad. A lot of this is familiar. First off, we got the charges. Hydrogen. Hydrogen forms a 1 plus charge. All right, take a look. Hydrogen, 1 plus charge. Chloride, Cl, Over here, has a -1 charge. All right, now I wouldn't even need to look up that it had a -1 charge because I see we've got 1 hydrogen and 1 chlorine. So if hydrogen is 1 plus, chlorine has to be 1 minus to cancel it out. Sodium, Na, is 1 plus. We've used it before. And hydroxide, all right, polyatomic ion list, here it is. It is 1 minus. Okay, 1 minus. So there we go. First step done. We've found the charges of the ions involved. Second step, we got to combine the positive ion from this first reactant with the negative ion from the second reactant. So we got the H, which is positive, and the OH, which is negative, and then we crisscross them. We crisscross. All right, H, this is 1 plus, so we're going to have 1 hydroxide. Hydroxide is 1 minus, so we're going to have 1 H. The formula is HOH. Now, maybe you recognize this as being the formula for something else, a substance that has 2 hydrogens and an oxygen, very common. It's actually H2O. One of the products is H2O. Take a look. It's got 2 H's and an O. It's H2O. All right? So that's the first product that we create. The second one is going to be with the NAs and the Cls. All right? So Na is 1 plus, as we looked it up. Cl is 1 minus, as we looked it up. And then we crisscross. All right? Which you don't really need to do because, you know, they're opposite charges. This one, that's how many sodiums we're going to have. This one is how many chlorides we're going to have. It's just one of each. NaCl. Now we balance it, okay? We've got 2 hydrogens on this side, 2 hydrogens on this side. We've got a chlorine on this side and a chlorine on this side. A sodium on this side and a sodium on this side, an oxygen and an oxygen. This is actually balanced with just ones across the board. It's already balanced, okay? So there we go, guys. That's 3 sample problems from your homework. I hope this helps you out. All right, hope you found this video helpful. I'm going to upload it and attach it to all these homeworks that I just gave, so that you can use that as a resource. Okay, remember office hours are daily from 2 to 3:30. Stop by, 2 to 2:30. Yeah, 2 to 2:30. All right, stop by anytime, guys. I'd be glad to help. Bye.